I've been persuaded by 3 Hammers Chat subscribers, because over the last couple of days, 3 of you lovely lot said, excuse me, Gio, any chance for a little match preview on Saturday morning ahead of the game in the afternoon? Perhaps you could predict what you think Potter's going to do in terms of tactics and team selection. Now, I did something similar for the Bournemouth game and the Leo game, and clearly 3 of you enjoyed it enough to put in a request ahead of this weekend. So here we are. You guys know me by now. I don't need too much persuading in order to chat nonsense on a video. Anyway, before we get into it, I want to know something. How are you feeling? I just want your honest answer. If you're feeling negative, let me know. If you're feeling positive, that's brilliant. I don't care if it's negative or positive. Well, I do. I hope it's positive. But in the sense of, I just want you to be honest. Tell me how you're feeling in the comments below. Don't be shy in any thoughts you've got ahead of the game and stuff like that. But feeling in particular, that's what I'm interested in this morning. Because truth be told, I'm feeling quite nervous. Now, part of my brain says, Gio, there's no need to feel like that. It's match day 1. There's 37 games after this one. Today is not going to play a significant part in the remainder of the season. Today is not going to dictate what West Ham go on to achieve, good or bad. If we win today, it doesn't mean we're getting European football. We lose today, doesn't mean we're getting relegated. Chill out. It's not that important. There's also 2 weeks left of the transfer window to fix things. There's still more business to be done. Chill. No need to feel nervous. But I think the other part of my brain, welcome to Gio's mental gymnastics, by the way, this is what's happening. The other half says, yeah, but hang on a minute. In order to use there's still 2 weeks of the transfer window left, in order to use that to feel calm, I've got to have confidence that we're going to rectify our issues and do good business. And I don't have that confidence at the moment. I'm confident we will sign players, plural. I think we will make at least 2 more signings. My problem is, A, I think we need more than 2. And B, it doesn't mean the 2 we bring in are going to fix what I think is our biggest issues at present. So I'm concerned about the transfer window. So I can't really use that to be calm about today. But in regards to today's game, I feel quite nervous actually. I just hope we win. And at this point, I don't really care who or how. If we win 1-0, 1 shot on target all game, I'll take it. It's not good. It won't reassure me. I don't really care at this point. I just want to get 3 points and feel a little bit of relief, and hopefully we can have a good end to the transfer window so that when we go to play Chelsea, when we go to play Nottingham Forest, I will be feeling excited. I will be feeling quite confident. But today, I'm a little bit nervous. However, I think the first 20 minutes of this game is going to be crucial. I think it's going to be really, really important in that first opening period. Anyway, I've got a new toy. I've got a new toy that I'm going to show you. It made its debut last night in the opposition prediction for Patreon, and there was a couple of teething problems. So I'm going to try and stay away from that side of it and keep it simple. But I've got a new toy. I'm quite excited to show you. I quite like it. It's a bit sad. I appreciate that. But I quite like it. But before we get into it, this video is in collaboration with our partners at Boyle Sports, and they got a juicy offer for you today ahead of this specific match, Sunderland against West Ham United. And that is, if you join up via our link, which is in the description below, and you do a bet builder ahead of today's game, you can receive a 25% boost on your winnings as well. So if you fancy us to win, you fancy a certain player to score, a certain player to get booked, pop it all into your bet builder, and then you'll get a 25% boost. So you get extra money, 25% extra winnings for your bet on today's game, Sunderland against West Ham. It's match specific. It's for that match only. So, the link's in the description below if you want to sign up. Obviously, it is a gambling app, so please do gamble responsibly. 18 years and over only. But make sure you go through our link because you get extra free bets. If you go to Boyle Sports organically, you'll get up to £25 free bets. If you use our link, you'll get up to £40 free bets. You must deposit a tenner and you must place a bet of £10 or greater. And your first qualifying bet comes to a conclusion. That's when you will receive your free bets. All the terms and conditions are in the description below, so make sure you do read them before you join up, but that's where you will find a link. So good luck to anyone having a little punt on today's game. We'll have our bet on the build-up show, as we always do. The bet giveaways going nowhere. I'm looking forward to putting one together with Gonzo and hopefully winning one of you guys a little bit of cash. That'd be a good way to kick off the season. Anyway, let's Look at my tactics board. Look at it. Anyway, this is my new toy for the season. So last night I did the opposition prediction, guessed what I think Sunderland's going to do. Very confident about 9 of the starting 11 for Sunderland, and the formation, how they're going to play, the style they're going to play. I feel really confident with that. But today I want to focus on West Ham. So the big call that he's actually got as the goalkeeper, isn't it? I feel like there's more than one big call. I'm confident of his 10 outfielders. It's the goalkeeper that I'm a bit uncertain over. Is he going to go with Hermansen, or is he going to stick with Areola for the first game of the season? And I think he's going to put Hermansen in. I think he's had a week of training. I think that's possibly going to be enough for him to go straight in there. I don't feel like Potter has much confidence in Areola. If you did, I'm not sure you go spend 15.5 million on a goalkeeper. You don't. You go get in someone for 5 million or something like that. So the fact we've spent such big money, he's going to be the number one. How long does he need before he goes in goal? I think he goes in straight away. I think Potter will send a message straight away, which is, this is my goalkeeper. Moving into the back three, let's take Max Kilman first of all. He'll be in the middle at the back, and then we'll have Aguero to the left, and we'll have Todibo to the right. I feel quite confident that's going to be our back three, with Wan-Bissaka playing right wing back, and then we'll have El Hadji Malik Diouf playing over at left wing back as well. Now, coming into midfield, this is the area that a lot of people, including myself, are unhappy about. It does look like Potts is going to get the nod, though. Had a strong pre-season for us. Also, I think there's a lack of options in regards to players Potter wishes to keep beyond the transfer window. Now, obviously, we've got Alvarez, we've got Souček, we've got Rodriguez, but you get the impression that he doesn't want to use Souček in that role, which I agree with. But you also get the impression he's not that keen on Alvarez. We've not seen him at all during pre-season. Now, he did have the extended break after the Gold Cup, but he was on the bench for a couple of friendlies. Didn't even come onto the pitch. And then, obviously, Rodriguez, he's used off the bench. I'm not so sure he's going to start him. I don't think you can start Potts in the pre-season games that he has and then not play him at the Stadium of Light. So I think he'll start with Paqueta to the left and Ward-Prowse to the right. I'm feeling quite confident this is going to be Potter's starting 11. Then we'll see Jared Bowen as one of the strikers and Niklas Füllkrug as the other. Now, my concern for this one, let's click some buttons. My concern for this one, I've got two. First one is the middle of the pitch. We've established that. We know why. Also, when you look at what Sunderland are likely to do in there with Xhaka, Siddiqui and Diarra, everything that we are lacking, they've got. Legs, they've got. Pace, they've got. Creativity from the middle of the pitch, it depends how much you rate Granit Xhaka, but if you're like myself and you rate Granit Xhaka highly, then you'll think that they've got the solution in there. I think Xhaka on the ball is absolutely fantastic. I think he'll be spraying those passes out to the wingers, whether it's Talby, Adringa, Leafy, it doesn't really matter. It'll be two of those. They're going to be on the receiving end of some wonderful passes from Xhaka. I think Sunderland are going to sit in quite a lot against us today. And they're going to look to hit us on the break. But they've got that pace in midfield with the two wingers and then the midfielders that we've discussed. They will be able to attack down the middle. That concerns me quite a bit because we are lacking that in the middle of the pitch. I think I'm a bit worried that Potts is going to get overrun on a couple of occasions here. Now, the other thing that concerns me, I did a video about it the other day. If you haven't seen it, it's when we are defending. I think quite often our wing backs are getting pinned back. So Diouf and Wan-Bissaka used some screenshots from the Leo game and the Bournemouth game. Now, I should stress again, ironically, there was some people complaining about it being negative, and then one of them admitted he didn't even watch the whole video, so he missed the bit that was positive, which was, I think, in the second half, Potter had rectified issues in both games. In the second half, I was pleased with what I seen against Bournemouth and against Lille. But in the first half, I felt like Diouf and Wan-Bissaka were getting pinned back by the wingers. That's a concern. Now, I don't think that'll happen too much today because I don't think Sunderland are necessarily going to have loads of the ball and they're going to be pressing us. But if we take the lead, that may happen, but we're then protecting a win. I think we'll see this often when we're 1-0 up. We're going to see our wing-backs dropping back to full-backs, and it's just going to be a flat back five. And I think it will be difficult to break us down. Just that we're going to have to accept as fans that the opposition is going to have a lot of the ball because the press will be practically non-existent. We'll go into a 5-3-2 formation and we'll have Füllkrug and Bowen on the halfway line, and our press will be quite passive, especially in these areas of the pitch where we've got our opponents the fullbacks playing there. So imagine their winger going up to Wan-Bissaka. I would get the Sunderland counters out, but they're going to be the wrong players. Don't want to confuse people. Well, actually, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Why not? Let's just go rogue. Let's get the Sunderland players on the pitch. Oh, yes, the names haven't come up. Excellent. Okay, so we've got the Sunderland players on the pitch as their away team here. And they're going to play a 4-3-3, so that's the right formation. So what I'm stressing here is when their three midfield push up, and it's man for man in the middle of the pitch, that's fine. Let me get rid of that square. And then you've got the wingers on Wan-Bissaka and Juve, and then you've got Mayenda, likely to be the striker, possibly Guiu. He'll be on Kilman. And that'll leave their two fullbacks out wide, where they'll be able to get on the ball quite often. And I think this is where I feel like we've been struggling a little bit in pre-season. Now, it means that Todibo and Aguerd are the three men. If we're losing, I expect Wan-Bissaka to push up and Todibo to come over. And likewise, on the other side, we'll see Juve push up and Aguerd go over. And we'll go quite aggressive. And I feel like this is what we did in the second half against Lille. And I liked it a lot. It was a very, very aggressive press from us. Now, the risk is it's man for man. You bypass us, we're in trouble. And I thought Lille, in the last 20 minutes or so, even though I liked the press, because of the makeup of midfield, I thought Ward-Prowse, Souček and Rodriguez, I thought it was quite easy to bypass them. And on a few occasions, they were in behind our midfield, and it was sort of 3-on-3 attacks. So that's my concern. But I think that's what we're going to have to be careful for. The thing I'm concerned for the most, though, in today's game, it's the first 20 minutes. I think Sunderland are going to come out fast. I think that stadium is going to be rocking before kick-off. I think they're going to come out the traps quick. I think they're going to try and swarm us. I think they're going to try and play quick. I think they're going to try and make it heavy metal football, if you like, chaos football. Insert whatever term you want. I think Sunderland are going to like it, like that. Fast and frantic, keep the crowd with you. If the crowd can see you giving 100% and upping the tempo straight away, you'll keep the crowd interested. They'll be buzzing. I think what Potter is going to do, let me just repeat and stress again because I can't be arsed arguing people. What I think Potter will do, I think he's going to make it boring. I think he's going to try and just shut this crowd up a little bit. And I think what we might see quite a lot is, if I just go back to my board, is when we've got the ball and Sunderland are in their defensive position. But like, I think they'll be playing for. I'm quite confident it'll be a. See, here's my teething problems. A 4-3-3 for them. So when we've now got the ball, I think we might see quite a lot of. I think it'll look like this a little bit. I think their wingers will come back with our wing backs. I think you might find that our centre backs have got a lot of time, and Potts will hand back a little bit. Xhaka, be interesting to see what they do with Xhaka. This is the one I'm intrigued in. Are they going to push Siddiqui onto Potts and let Xhaka, and then it's going to become a double pivot for Sunderland? Or are they going to keep Xhaka a little bit deeper so that he's constantly free and getting on the ball? That's the matchup in midfield I'm intrigued by. But I think you'll find us quite often just playing it around at the back here. And I don't think it'll go far. I don't think we're going to be looking to progress it too much. I think we are going to try and take the sting out of the game. So for the first 15, 20 minutes, I will be surprised if we aren't just holding on to the ball in areas of the pitch, which is essentially this area of the pitch, our half. I think we'll keep the ball in here quite a lot in the first 20 minutes, just to try and quieten the Sunderland crowd down a little bit, just take the sting out of them, let them have their fast and frantic start, and then once you've done that, then I think we'll try and impose ourselves in the game. I think our priority will be to go there and keep the defence tight. Now, what I will say about Mayenda, great young player, could go on and become a top player, but he's not ready yet for the Premier League football. I'm quite confident he's not. Now, he may score today. He will score goals this season, but I'll be very impressed if he hits double figures. I think Sunderland are just lacking that maybe more experienced number 9. The other thing which is going to be interesting for West Ham, actually, is the bench. Areola, Walker-Peters, Scarles, you'd imagine, would be on there. Where are we? Souček will definitely be on the bench. Mavropanos will definitely be on the bench. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5 already. We've got all these players here. So we've got Alvarez, Irving, Emerson, who's back in training, Rodriguez, Wilson maybe, Guilherme, Marshall. Depends on his fitness. Now we've got other players down the bottom here. You know, we've got Fearon and in order for, oh, you can't see them. They're here. They're down the bottom, but I don't think they're going to be involved. Supporter's actually got a big call to make in terms of who he puts on his bench. Now, I'd like to see Guilherme on there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gives us 3 more. Irving or Rodriguez. I imagine Rodriguez will be on there. Alvarez on there, so I don't think there will be room for Irving. I think it's really important. Now, I'd like to, bloody thing, I'd like to see Marshall on the bench if he's fit. I think he's looked quite sharp in pre-season, just unfortunate to pick up a knock, so he wasn't involved with Lille. If he's fit, I'd like to see him on there. But if he's not, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I would like to see Emerson on the bench. Not Emerson, Wilson. Now, I've made my feelings clear about the signing of Callum Wilson. Ultimately, it's irrelevant at this point now. I'm unhappy with it. I don't agree with it. I made that clear. However, he is a West Ham player. What we can't have is a bench with no attacker on it. I didn't like that bench against Lille. There was no striker. And Guilherme is unlikely to come on, which I have my frustrations about. I'd like to see Guilherme be more involved. But I think if Marshall's on the bench, great. If not, I think Wilson needs to be on there. Because if we are a goal down, or even if it's 0-0 with 10 minutes to go, we've got to have the ability to change the attack. And we are lacking in that area of the pitch. You know, I really want midfielders in. But I think we're really lacking in attacking options too. Anyway, that's what I think Graham Potter's going to do. I feel quite confident that'll be the outfield 10. It's just a goalkeeper. I'd imagine he'll go for Hermansen, but it wouldn't shock me if it was Areola. But get involved in the comments below. Let me know how you're feeling. I want to know how you're feeling. I feel like I've read a wide range of opinions from Hammers Chat subscribers over the last few days. Some people thinking we're dark horses for European football, and some people thinking, well, they're dead certain that we're going to get relegated. Essentially, that is the discrepancy from what I'm reading from subscribers. Some reckon we're in for a great season and a good transfer window, a bit of luck, we might get European football, and some thinking, regardless of what we do, we're probably going to get relegated, and everything in between. Now, I'm in between, to be clear. I don't think we're going to get European football. I don't think we're going to get relegated. But I want to know what you guys are thinking. Today might tell us quite a lot. But before you do go, we will be live 1:55. If you're at Sunderland, enjoy it. I hope you have a belter of a game. But if not, please do come join us. We're live at 1:55 with a build-up show, going through the lineups. And remember, if you fancy a little bit of a flutter on today's game later on, Boyle Sports have got a 25% boost for you on the Sunderland West Ham game. But you must use the Hammers Chat link in the description below. See you at 1:55.